Greetings, RC model geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 18 of the DW Hobby Storch build. Who would have thought it would have got to part 18 with the speed that the fuselage and other parts went together with in the beginning, but here we are. So flaps and ailerons today. All the bits have been painted, sanded, painted again, etc, etc. I'm just waiting for the bits that I had to paint yellow to dry off, but the grey bits we can certainly put on at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing is gluing these horns onto the flap, as you can see them down there, and we'll also be gluing the other halves on, which are these things here, onto the wing, and then we'll get the flap bolted on and see how it works. So I'm going to get mixing up some epoxy. We're going to epoxy these in, and then we'll come back and have a look and see how things are. Right, so I have the flap sort of bodged together just to see how it's going to work, and there it is. So yeah, looking pretty okay so far. The next thing is to get these horns glued on to the aileron, and then the horns fitted into the wing there. So we're going to do that. Now it's looking like the clearance is pretty tight between the trailing edge of the wing here and the flap. I'm hoping that the aileron, because it's a slightly different profile, will clear. So if you look at this flap, I've basically got all the movement I want down, which is all you need for the flap. Of course, you don't need the movement up, and it's pretty much physically impossible to move it up because the leading edge of the flap hits onto here. Not a problem on the flap. Obviously on the ailerons you need to be able to move both ways. Now the profile, well, not the profile, but the geometry of the aileron is exactly the same as the flap hinges, but it does look like this front leading edge is just slightly different to the flap one. If that's the case, the aileron will work correctly and be able to go up as well as down. Otherwise, there's a problem. So I need to put the aileron together completely, put the screws in like I've done on here, just to see if it's got the clearance between the leading edge of the aileron and the trailing edge of the wing there. If it hasn't, what we'll have to do is basically move these slots and all the ones that mount here as well just slightly back, maybe a millimetre. It doesn't need much, but yeah, they might need to be moved back. You could just move the aileron ones back, but then of course your trailing edge of your flap and your aileron won't be in line with each other, so we'd have to move the whole lot back, even though we don't need to on the flaps. But I'll put that together and then we'll see. Hopefully it will clear anyway, and you know, it's nothing to worry about. But yeah, until we do it, we won't know. Right, I've lashed this together to have a look at what is going on, and yes, as I thought, it ain't right. Technically it could be sort of right if you really sanded a lot off the leading edge when you were making the aileron and the flap, but you know, I rounded them, simple as that, how they should be, and there ain't enough clearance to get up. There's a minuscule amount of up, but not a lot, and you know, on something like this you're going to want probably to put differential ailerons on it anyway, and so you're going to need more up than down, and you ain't going to get it at all. So the simple option, and the most practical one, is that those slots in the wing are basically moved back. That's the easy thing to do, and then that'll allow for, you know, any upfucks that somebody might make along the way. So yeah, I'm going to shift all those slots back about, I'm going to try a millimetre and see how that goes. Now the other telltale sign that things might actually be in the wrong place anyway is if you look at this profile, if it will focus, if I get this sort of level, yeah, there's actually a step between the wing and the aileron, or the flap there, so it should be sitting slightly further back to follow with the shape of the wing. So that could be another indicator that the slots that they've put in there are slightly out of position to where they should be. So I'm going to shift them all back, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it looks like shifting that back has fixed the issue, which is good. Flaps obviously go like that. Yeah, so now I've just got to do the aileron side. I've shifted it back so that the distance between this trailing edge here and the beginning of the slot is 6mm. And if you do that, you should have enough aileron movement. But we'll glue it together, because proof of the pudding is in the eating, so they say. So we want to make sure that that does actually work, because, you know, just holding it in there isn't really the way. But yeah, the flaps is good. Now you can see that this flap now has actually got some up in it. Obviously the flap doesn't need it, but because the geometry is the same as the aileron, it should at least work. We'll see. Like I said, there was a bit more clearance on the aileron anyway, so yeah, let's see what happens. Right, here we go. So that is now working flaps and working ailerons. The aileron down movement is now limited by these balance horns. You know, should be fine, should be fine. Shouldn't need much down. I mean, let's have a look at what we got. That is the amount of down that you get, which looks pretty fine. And that, if I get my hand out of the way, difficult to do all this one-handed. That, let me hold it there like that. That is the amount of up that you get. Down, up. Should be fine, should be fine. If it's not, we'll have to bodge it later on. I made a little bloody hole there, look. God knows how I did that. Anyway, so that is basically the wing done. The hinges are basically screwed together. That's just like a nut and a bolt there on each one. Same on the ailerons. And all I'm doing is just a dab of super glue on the nut, on the thread basically, and that'll lock it off fine. Could use thread lock, but I'm lazy. I've just used super glue. Yeah, so that is it for the day really. It took all day to really work out what was going on, where the little errors are, and tweak it out. But yeah, looking good. So tomorrow I think we'll spray the top with the camouflage, get the German cross on the top of the wing, varnish that top side, and then that one is pretty much completed, apart from, oh no, fucking hell, there's always more, isn't there? I forgot about that. We've got to do the slats. So hopefully we'll get the slats done tomorrow and it painted. We'll have to see how it goes. Get it varnished, rather. So yeah, obviously the slats, even though they're designed, oh gosh, designed to be hinged, we're just going to glue them in open position. Which is how it was on the full size. There were no moving slats on the full size. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Yes, I did go to Hollycombe yesterday. Yes, I have taken some video. Just got to edit it together. But yeah, I mean, you know, there was a lot of noise and a lot of, you know, organy kind of sounds, and not really any speaking on it. So, but yeah, there was some interesting stuff there. Yeah, so I'll maybe I'll add a bit to the end of each video. How about that? I'll add a little different bit each day onto the end of each of these videos, rather than make one boring video with not a lot going on. Right, so enjoy the first bit. What's it going to be? It's going to be the steam merry-go-round, I think. Well, it's actually not a merry-go-round. It's a galloper. It's the horses. So it's a one with horsey things that go up and down. Anyway, that's it. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for watching Captain Rob's RC Model Geeks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more of the same type of videos, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/RC Model Geeks. If you want to contact us, you can email us rcmodelgeeks@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.